Hello, health heads. Welcome and thank you for checking into this dose of the Healthcare Uprising. I am your producer in the back, Jeremy Carr. Here with your host in the front row, Heather Pierce. So, what are we doing today, Heather?
We get to meet another person who's involved in bringing a healthcare app to the world. That's what we're doing.
It's kind of what we do around here.
That's what we do around here. I'm going to completely ruin her name, and I apologize in advance, but she says no one ever gets it right anyway. Asya Paloni. Asya, I apologize. She's fantastic. She is the Chief Product Officer of Welltory. Welltory is another healthcare app, like I mentioned. She's been with Welltory actually for about 8 years, I think. It's not a brand new startup like many the folks that come on the show. She's been with the company for a while and just moved up the ranks there into her Chief Product Officer role. So she's here to tell us all about what they're doing there. So
yeah, and a little bit of cheating. This is a really cool app that Heather has checked out, and even I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah, definitely want to stick around for this one. So without further ado, here's our conversation with Asya from Welltory. There it is.
You got it. Hi, and welcome to the Healthcare Uprising podcast. Today we have Asya Paloni, Chief Product Officer with Welltory. Welcome to the show. We're glad to have you.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
Awesome. And we're so glad to have reconnected after chatting. I think we first met back in, I want to say February of this year.
It must have been February, yeah.
It was really early on.
This was like one of the first names on our list.
It was.
I remember. I still don't know what it's about, but I remember Welltory being on the list early on, and we're finally getting there. So
yeah,
it's cool. We caught up.
Yeah.
Well, my goal is to have you download the app that you specifically.
Yeah, trust me. I've becoming a user of like many of the people that come on the show. So.
She's got like 8 wearables on right now.
I know, it's insane. Yeah, I am like a walking billboard for our Healthcare Uprising podcast guests. So I love it. I love healthcare. So it's great. So let's talk about you and let's talk about Welltory. So first, just give us a little background, your experience. What is your role at Welltory, which I know has changed over time, and really kind of what drove you to join the company and be a part of its success.
Sure. So I'm the Chief Product Officer at Welltory. And Welltory, just like to give you a little background, it's an app for folks who are tired and they don't know why, and they just want their life back. Which is, I'm learning, a lot of folks. So what Welltory does is it analyzes and interprets your Apple Watch data 24/7 to kind of help you see what's making you stressed and what's draining your energy, what's causing it to dip. And then the best part is it helps you turn things around in real time, sometimes in just a few minutes, so that you can have more good days than bad days, and hopefully also avoid getting sick in the long term.
Can turn you around in a few minutes.
Yes.
Well, wow. Let's dig into that here soon. Although let's you finish your kind of intro here, but
yeah. I didn't mean to cut in, but that kind of blew me away.
We're like, whoa.
Yes, it blows me away every day. I'm so excited about this. But yes, so I started at Welltory. I've actually been there for like 8 years now. And we kind of, we joke about this a lot. I kind of joke that I started off as a copywriter and nothing has changed. I mostly just do copywriting still. I just have like a fancier title.
Fellow copywriter right here. Gotcha. Yeah.
So I started off just doing copywriting when Welltory was a very, very small team. It was maybe like, I don't know, 10 to 20 people, something like this. It was right at the very start. Right now we're, I guess, at around 110, 120. I lost count at some point. And my journey through like all the different roles is just a journey of frustration, because basically I got sick of writing copy for features that I didn't know how they worked really. And I was like, well, where do you get the data? How does it like, how do the algorithms work? Why do they work that way? Let me make it myself. And because like the team was so small, I was just allowed to like run wild. with no credentials. And that's how I ended up where I am.
I love it. I always say marketing people are the best people. That's who you want to like lead things because they touch so many different parts of the business
Yep.
and you learn a lot in the process. So you start without being in like specific, more like, I don't know, business or strategy roles, for example, or like technical roles. um,
Mhm.
you get to learn so much about that. So it doesn't make it, or it doesn't surprise me that you're now the chief product officer and also that you're still writing because it's still kind of a small company. I work for a
Yeah.
healthcare startup too, like tech startup and do the podcast and I wear many hats. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's just how it goes, right?
Yep.
That's awesome. So, and you're in Berlin,
Yes.
but Welltory is, or I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right too, because I hear you say Welltory. So it's
Uh, uh,
Welltory, right?
it's Welltory. You can pronounce it however you
Okay,
want, but the basic thing is it's wellness laboratory.
got it.
We were young and thought it was cute, and now now we're Welltory.
And it's stuck and it
Yes.
works. I like it. It makes me think of like wellness story is what I think of,
I never
which
thought
I
of
think is
that. Yes.
cool. you know it tells you a story, right? And we're gonna dig into that about like how it's gonna change your life in a matter of potential seconds or minutes, so we're gonna learn about that. But you're in Berlin, but the company itself, is it based here in the States? Is it in San Francisco or is it based there?
It's based in the States, but the team is scattered.
Okay.
I think that I think I'm the only one in Berlin,
Oh,
actually.
okay.
We have folks in Canada, folks in Latin America,
Oh,
some people
wow.
in the States, some people really all over the place. And we've been remote since day one. We've never
Hmm.
had like a home office where people gather or anything like that.
Gotcha. And you said like I think 8 years, I believe, was it 2016 that
Yes.
it came to be? So you aren't a brand new startup, but would you still qualify yourself in kind of startup stage or phase, or you feel like you've kind of moved beyond that?
Like yes and no.
Hmm.
We're a startup because we do so many pivots, and we're in the middle
Right.
of yet another one that
Oh,
I think is
okay.
like really cool, and I really want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But we've been around for a long time, so there is like a management structure, and it is a team with like over 100 people,
Yeah, that's a
and
lot
we
of
are
people. Yeah.
yeah, and we are like a profitable company. So I guess in that sense,
Right. I
in that
know
sense,
that.
we have
That sounds
something
pretty
like
established.
15 million. Yeah, yeah, 15 million downloads. It's
Okay.
quite big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, like in terms of like size, but so you've got 15 million downloads. Does that equate to actual active users or
We have about 1 million active users a month,
oh, that's a
and
lot. That's
it's
a big
growing
number.
quite a bit. Yeah.
That's a big number, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're here to the big, big question. What does it do? What is it all about? How does it work? How do these 1 million users
If, if
engage?
if we
What
got
are
a
they
million
doing?
users on the podcast every month, we'd be famous.
Yeah, that would be cool one
That's a
day.
big number.
It's really very simple. You connect your Apple Watch to it, and it does the rest. No, I'm joking. But
That's
basically,
too easy.
but it is quite easy. You connect your Apple Watch to it, and it immediately knows how well you slept the night before, based on how you usually sleep. It knows your stress levels for the day and your energy levels, and it can actually draw you your day on a timeline and let you see exactly what was making you stressed out, what was helping you rest, how active you were, and if that activity benefited your heart health. Um, it can even paint you a beautiful mountain landscape based on how active you've been this past week. It will immediately calibrate to all of your baselines and start helping you basically from day one. It's not one of those things that you have to train over like the course of 2 weeks or something like this. And there are, I guess, a few ways that people use our app. Like, I think the biggest two use cases are people like to use it in the morning to kind of get some guidance about how to start their day. Our most popular feature is our sleep feature.
Mm-hmm.
If you wear your Apple Watch to bed, it like tracks how you sleep. And the coolest thing it does is it kind of turns your heart rate overnight into a form of a wave. And it can tell how well you've recovered and how ready you are to like start your day and get going based on this. So people really like to use it in the morning. And also the second use case is people really like to check in like after a stressful Zoom call or after a workout or something like this, they want to check in and see how their metrics changed. It turns into kind of like a game of, oh, I did this, what happened? How did it affect me? That's the second kind of biggest use case. And also just to kind of validate how they're feeling. So if someone's like feeling off, they'll check in and be like, am I imagining it or is it actually happening? So yeah, that's basically how it works.
So it shows you all the triggers basically of what's stressing you out. Does it
Yeah.
give you advice on what to do about it? Or does it
It
just show you where the triggers are? Because I mean, not that that's
it
not helpful, but
Mm-hmm.
just
I
wondering how
want to
deep it
kind of
goes.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I want to steer clear kind of the word advice because
Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah.
yeah, one of the things we've noticed is that if you tell people what to do, they'll get really frustrated because like most of the time people like don't have time to do the things that you're telling them. They're like, I'm having a
Mm.
bad day, I don't have time for this crap. Turn off the notification.
Yeah.
So we try to avoid doing that. But what it does do is it will reward you excessively if you do something to reduce your stress levels.
There you go.
So unlike all of the other apps that kind of like just your stress level like stacks up with them throughout the day, it keeps
Mm-hmm.
getting higher and there's nothing you can do about this. With Welltory, you can reduce your stress levels throughout the day by getting up and moving around.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on how well you slept and how high your heart rate was, it'll calibrate it back differently. So it kind of adapts to how your body is feeling in real time every morning. And then it knows what you need to do to reduce your stress levels continuously throughout the day.
You can literally watch yourself calm down. That's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I have an Apple Watch and I also have an Aura Ring too. And I'm interested to understand maybe the difference is between the Aura Ring and what Welltory does as well. But I think about this with the Apple Watch. I've had an Apple Watch for years, right? Like I've had
Yeah.
multiple models. Um, and I loved it for like tracking I'm literally looking at it, tracking activity, or when it
Mhm.
yells at me and says I haven't walked enough or I haven't stood long enough, or like, oh, don't forget to breathe. Like, stop telling me to breathe. I'm busy, right? Like kind of
Yeah.
to your point. Um, but then that's it, right? Like then I do nothing with it. So it's almost like weltery, like it's like this is the device, right? It
Yeah.
gets all the data, and then
Yeah.
weltery makes sense of it and says, "Hey, did you know your heart rate's been up and down and blah blah blah." It almost like it makes you kind of activate that information. Is that kind of a good way? I don't know if I've really explained that
Yeah,
very
if
well, but
you can think of it, your Apple Watch as like something that like mines the data and then Welltory
mm,
interprets it and makes meaning out of it. Because Apple
yeah,
Watch
that's a
won't
much
tell
better
you that like
explanation.
this heart rate means you're stressed or
Yeah.
like something like this. And Welltory will do that.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then you have the Aura Ring, right? Like that's a
Yeah,
totally other new thing that actually I was given, which was really great. Um and I will say actually for both of these things, I love the sleep part. Because I do have every day I wake up, doesn't matter how many hours I've slept, I feel tired.
yep,
Don't know why.
yeah,
It's just how it is. Um, and I love seeing my sleep data. I love seeing the HRV heart rate variability, which I believe you also track, but
yep.
I don't know what to do with it. Like I'm like, okay, cool. Like I see the number, I see that it goes up and it goes down, and I get some information, but then I'm like, and then what? So
Right.
what does Wellsbury do with that sort of information?
What do we do that's different? So I think the thing that sets Welltory apart is that we've really learned to pull all the data together into a whole, and
Mhm.
we have personalized text throughout the app. And I think
Oh.
the cool thing that I really like about the sleep feature is that it got really good at guessing what could have affected your sleep.
Oh.
So like if you had a workout the night before, or
Mhm.
if you had like a stressful day,
Yeah.
there are hints. It like will try to guess and be like, were you doing this? Were you doing that? It'll ask you for feedback too, and help you kind of discover what distorts your recovery curve over time. And I think that's really cool.
Hmm. Yeah, that's great. Do you guys have your own AI program for that kind of thing? Like gathering
Uh,
all, like actually going through all the data?
uh, we don't have our own LLM yet. We do use AI, of course.
Mhm.
Um,
Who doesn't?
Oh, I
and
mean, to
yeah,
compile data like that,
Yeah.
that's just how you do it
yeah,
now.
Right.
yep, exactly.
That's crazy.
And so you say it works right away, but people do have like men and women have different heartbeats generally, and individuals have different heartbeats and different levels of different things. That does it adapt to the individual over time like that?
It adapts to you immediately, actually.
Immediately.
Uh,
Immediately. So it can like
immediately.
read your signs and just know what's up with your physiology kind of thing.
Yeah, when folks connect their Apple Watch data to us, it actually goes back to like, a couple of months.
Oh,
And you can grab
Oh.
it calculates the baselines immediately. It knows, your gender. It knows
wow.
usually people have their weight entered, so it kind of calibrates to all of these things because it's impossible to estimate someone's stress levels just from heart rate alone. You need all sorts of, baselines. You need their heart rate during sleep. You need their resting
Mhm.
heart rate, their highest heart rate. It's a whole,
Hmm.
it's a massive algorithm game.
That's wild. That takes your history and immediately compiles your data for you.
Yep.
That's impressive, actually.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Uh,
So it really works right away on an individual basis. That's amazing.
it really works right away, and I think that's one of the things that really sets us apart with the scientific rigor. Um, it's really more nerdiness than marketing. Our team.
I'm a big fan of
Oh,
nerdiness.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
She's the marketer. I'm the nerdiness.
This is true. Yes.
yeah. We have quite a few scientific publications, including one in Nature, and
Nice.
we've partnered. I think there have been quite a few researchers at universities that we've partnered with who've used Welltory to do research. So yes,
Wow.
it
All
does
right.
all the algorithms.
Well, I gotta sign up for it. So, what do you think what do you think people benefit from the most? Like, what's the word on the street?
I think that, like I said, it's folks who are tired and they don't know why and they want to get their life back.
Uh-huh.
And that I think is the biggest benefit. Like when we have a lot of great reviews.
Hmm.
And the biggest thing that people love is that it lets you it lets you kind of connect the pieces of the puzzle over time. Like, okay, this is what's making me tired. I had someone tell me the other day, it was only thanks to WellTree that I could see that I was like coming home at the end of the day, sitting down on the couch, and I wasn't actually resting. Like
Hmm.
I thought that I was tired and I should come home and sit, and I would have like more energy the next day, but I wasn't actually resting, and it would have been more beneficial for me to like move around, and would give me more energy the day after. Um,
Wow.
so stuff like that, things that really help you dig in and figure out what it is that's draining all of your energy.
Yeah.
Starting with early in the morning to late at night.
That's what I need. Like, I legitimately wake up I can't figure out why. I look at
It,
I'm like, I've slept 6 hours, or I slept 8 hours, or I slept 10 hours, and I still feel like I slept four. And
I think
Yeah.
it's
not.
because you have a full-time job, a podcast, and two teenage kids. How's that?
That would be
Well, the second one's not a teenager yet.
Close
I
enough.
mean,
Close enough.
yeah, I mean, that's probably true. But I don't know. I've always felt like I've been struggling with the sleep thing for a couple of years. So I of course I also blame everything on perimenopause at this point, and it probably is the culprit, to be honest. Along with all the other random weird symptoms that I have. So,
Mhm.
um, but sleep though, that's the one thing because I look at my sleep data and I'm just like, what is going on? I'm like, I haven't been able to make any sense of it yet. But I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna download the app and hook it up to my watch and see what the Welltory gods tell me.
There you go.
I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely let us know when you do,
I will.
because we're so our founder Jane just got into a femtech accelerator,
Oh,
because
very cool.
we really want to focus on perimenopause and menopause
Excellent.
and figure out what the hell's going on because it
Yeah.
seems like nobody knows.
We're just we're in that like it's like the startup culture, right? But it's
Yeah.
perimenopause. We're flying the plane and building it and taking it apart and trying to figure out what's going on and trying to survive at the same time.
Fixing the ship while it's sailing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And just
that's
no research, just like none. Like you guys are on
no.
your own. Like what?
Right, right. It's
Insane.
great. Actually, that kind of brings up another question that just popped in my head. Are the majority of your users like female? Like, do you find like certain demographic data or types of people or geographic data that you have like a higher number of users over
You
maybe
know, it's
female over
really
men?
interesting. It's this is really interesting because it had always been historically when it was like an instrument that just measured your heart rate variability and like was very much this like performance optimization tool, which is what we started out with. I think
Hmm.
it was a bit more men. Then it always was like 50-50. And just recently I was looking and I was like, huh, more women.
Hmm.
Finally. I'm joking, but it's started to skew a bit more women, like maybe 60-40, just
Interesting. I
recently.
wonder. I don't
I,
know. I feel like women are having like a moment, right? Like just in general.
yeah.
Um, and we're really getting, I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm like in my own, kind of echo chamber, the algorithms on my social media are feeding me like all the ads about perimenopause and midlife weight gain.
Mhm.
Are you not sleeping? It's like the same thing. And then all my friends are talking about it. So, but I
Yeah,
do feel like
there's
we're kind of reclaiming our health. Like there's like this cool uprising, actually.
There you go.
So maybe that's why.
yeah,
So
absolutely. I found this too. The algorithms have also been feeding me this. So
yeah.
it can't be just you. It's all of us.
And
Right.
if you look at our podcast, it's, we're focused on innovation, and a big chunk of our episodes are
Yep.
women-led companies, new things in healthcare that are getting into things
Hmm.
about women's health that no one's bothered to take the time on before. And they're
Yeah.
finally
Yeah,
taking the time. It's where most of
it's
the
really cool.
innovation is right now.
Yeah. That's awesome though. I'm here for
That's
it.
great. I'm here for it too. Let's go.
And I'm excited that Jane is going into that
And
femtech uh, incubator or whatever.
the worst
So
irony of
excited for her.
it, the
Yeah.
worst irony of it to me is that most guys don't even go to the doctor.
This is, yeah, that is very true.
Like, if I do go to the doctor, they know how to fix me. Pretty much everything that happens to guys.
Yeah.
A woman goes to the doctor and they're like, sorry, we don't even know what's wrong with you.
It's
Never mind how to fix you.
the mystery.
But women
Like,
actually go to the, like, we should have been focused on the women to begin with because they're the ones who actually go to the doctor anyway.
Mhm.
Like, we,
you
we
could have had
wasted our
more data
time on
all
men
along.
because how many guys
Yeah.
drop dead without ever going to the doctor? I'm probably going to be one of them, to be honest with you, because I don't
Right.
go to the doctor. And
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Women are we're very complex creatures.
Yeah.
So, but I want to talk about too. You'd said, we know since Welltory's been around for a while, but you've made some kind of pivots and shifts in your chief product officer. So who better to have on the show than you to talk about some of the changes that you're going through and maybe additional features, things like that. So what's happening in that space that might be coming?
I could start with our evolution story because
Okay.
it's kind of funny, or I could tell you about like our biggest latest milestone, which is like hot and juicy, and I don't know which one to. I don't know
I would
which
like to
one
hear
to.
both. Let's do the evolution and then hit the big spot at the end.
Sure. So the evolution was basically it started out as Jane, my lovely founder. She was and is, I guess, a serial founder, serial entrepreneur, and she was also advising a bunch of startup founders. And at some point, she noticed that the biggest reason startups were failing is not because like the ideas were bad or like the team was bad or like I don't know, the founder was lazy or something like this, but just like the burnout. Like you take one too many hits and then you're like, you know what, I'm done. I can't keep doing this. Just literally just bad burnout. And so initially she made Welltory she was like, I need a tool to help me prevent this. And this was back in 2016. It was before heart rate variability was in any of the fitness trackers it's in now. Aura wasn't a thing. Garmin, I think, was a thing, but didn't have HRV yet. And Apple Watch definitely didn't have it at the time. And I don't know if you're familiar with what heart rate variability actually is, but
I am now. I wasn't, but let's talk about that though, because not everybody does.
I have no idea.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So heart rate variability is the variation in the time intervals between your heartbeats. And it basically is like a layout of the tug of war that's happening inside your nervous system. So it knows like which part of your nervous system is more active, or it reflects which part of your nervous system is more active. And because of this, it kind of can tell how stressed you are and how much recovery you need and stuff like this. And what Welltory first did was it was just an app that measured heart rate variability, and then it interpreted the signals that your body was telling you. So it was just a screen that was like your stress, your energy, your resilience. I can't remember what other metrics we had, and then like a summary of how you were feeling that day. And if you took a measurement every morning, you would kind of get guidance. And then if you were about to like crash and burn, you would know this if you were taking your morning measurements over time. So we made this tool, and then we were like, this is really great. How do we get everyone to use it? And that's when we discovered two things. The first thing is that no one's going to sit there and measure their heart rate variability for like 3 minutes, unless they're very nerdy and they need it very badly. Yeah. And the second thing that we discovered is that people really don't like an app that tells them what to do. We kind of have this idea that it just like, I'm tired, I don't know what to do, and an app should just tell me what to do and I'll do it and then like I'll feel better. But it doesn't quite work that way. You can't just be like, today you need to like eat this and then go on a walk and then like do this and then like, I don't know, pet your dog and then you'll be good, and like think that people will do it. They absolutely will not. So the evolution of Welltory is basically trying to find a way to get people to pay enough attention to what's going on with their bodies without them just getting frustrated and throwing their phone in a corner like, yeah, I don't need another notification telling me to move.
And don't yell at me to breathe. Yeah. One more time.
Yeah. So all the pivots that we've had have been about trying to make Welltory more and more engaging and pleasant to use. Yeah, and that's kind of, I don't want to go through every pivot ever and walk you through every stupid mistake we made, because honestly, it's quite embarrassing.
That's the beauty of a startup though, right? Like you can change and you're nimble and you can be like, no, that didn't work. Yeah. Okay, go that way. Nope, that didn't work either. Go that way.
You make mistakes so you can learn how to do it right. That's what mistakes are for.
Yeah, I love it. So what's the big juicy? So bring us to the current present time.
Yes, so I think that the coolest thing, and when I was preparing for this I didn't even realize this happened. But when I was preparing for this podcast and you asked me, what's the biggest like milestone you've had recently? And I was like, wait a minute, we've completely rebuilt our product over like the past year and a half. And
that's now, a big
deal. Yeah, we've rebuilt it so that it literally, for Apple Watch users, it tracks everything about your day 24/7. and it lays out just about every category of your health. So you have like your energy levels, 24/7, your stress levels 24/7, your sleep. And the latest thing we have is this activity feature. And I really love this one because it's made to help people see that literally every move that they make throughout the day counts. It paints you a beautiful landscape that kind of helps you see the fluctuations in your activity over the course of the past week. And then if you hit higher heart rate zones, it paints those mountains different colors to reward you more. And it has really cool longevity guidance. If you're, I don't know, if you're on a health streak and you're like, oh, I'm not only gonna try to sleep well, I'm also gonna like try to work out and boost my longevity over time. It'll guide you super well. It lets you see if you meet the CDC's minimum activity requirement, and if you don't, help you get there.
That's cool.
And it's really beautiful and engaging and fun.
It's like a life coach in a way or something, a personal, your own little personal trainer kind of.
Yeah. We all need
Yeah.
one of those. I do.
Mm.
I mean, it's mostly, and I think for me anyway, for somebody who does use an Apple Watch, Nora Ring, all the things, I need to make sense of it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of those things give you all
Great
this
data.
data, but you don't know what any of it means or what to do with it. So yeah, that's a great thing that you can actually take the wearables you already have and feed it into this app, and it'll
Mhm.
actually tell you what to do with the data.
Yeah.
It's very helpful.
Or even better, to go even a step further. Again, this comes up a lot on our show because of the nature of the people that come on. Then you have data going into, say, you're a doctor, right? When you're talking to them about, well, I'm feeling this and that, and here's kind of the story, right? Going back to that the well story.
Yeah.
um, but the or for Welltory, sorry, I don't want to change the name of your company there. I just love that story aspect. But it does kind of tell you a story, right? And it does give you some information so that you can go in and be like, here,
Yeah.
look at what's happening. I'm seeing this peak here. I feel really bad this part of the day, or whatever it is. So
That's
that's
really funny.
powerful.
You should be a product manager at Welltrade because we were we
There
were
you go.
we were
Hey,
just in the middle of making a report for the doctor that like, people can download.
hey, look at that. See,
Yeah,
I'm right there with
yeah,
you. You do this enough. I talk to enough
yeah,
people. Jeremy, you and I were like, we get it. And then I work in kind of that world, I work in that world too.
yeah.
So I'm like living and breathing it all the time. So, but because that's the end goal, right? It's like we only have a few minutes with our doctor. We've got all this data. The data is telling us something. Now we're armed with the data. We can walk in and be like, listen, I already know like this is happening or, whatever the situation is. And then that should hopefully make that conversation a lot more effective, right? So that they can maybe help get you a diagnosis so that you're not sitting there for 10 years wondering why you feel so horrible.
On the flip side, there's so many doctors that try every way possible to get their patients to journal, like
Yeah.
what's happening to them and their symptoms. And it's impossible because people do not want to journal. But if you make a health app that's pretty and fun and engaging and wows you with cool landscapes, you can get them to journal in that health app.
There you go. And it sounds like that's what you're doing. So
Yeah.
I love it. I think that's great. So, and I'm really excited to try it. So,
Yeah, it's a cool concept, and I like that it works off things people already have. You don't have to get a new wearable. It's just
oh
connected
yeah.
to what you're already wearing.
And it's just Apple Watches, right?
So it works even without any like wearable device at all.
Okay.
Uh, it works with other devices. It's just the experience is really good with the Apple Watch because the
Gotcha.
Apple Watch writes it to Apple Health like every couple of minutes.
Oh, okay.
And with other devices, there needs to be some tweaking. We also have we've gotten it to work really well for a Samsung Watch
Uh-huh.
with Android, and we're
Oh,
kind
okay.
of gradually making our way through all the devices and like
Sure.
getting them to work. But
Fitbits and all that kind of
yes,
stuff. Yeah.
Mm.
yes, exactly.
Got it.
But it takes some time. Not everyone tracks data and stores it the same way.
Mm, yeah.
There you go, right?
The inconsistencies of data collection.
Got to build a whole new system for each wearable.
I
Yeah.
know. So today, okay, you've got a couple of different channels for the Welltory app to show up. Is that direct to consumer? Do you go through health plans, insurance companies? Like, how can somebody get
So
engaged with you?
historically, Welltree has always been like B2C, just direct to consumer.
Hmm.
And there's a reason for this because if you start building something, like if you start building something and your target demographic to sell it to is like employers
Yeah.
or like healthcare plans or something, then you kind of risk ending up with something that people, the end users, don't actually end up using
Mm,
because they're not the ones paying you. You're selling to the employer and they're just, I don't know, putting it on their plan. It's not really working. No one's using it. And then you don't. So it has always been a thing for us to get real people to
hmm.
buy it and to subscribe to it and to use it because
Yeah.
we thought this was the highest kind of like form of praise for a health app. If someone like pays for it and actually uses it and comes back day in and day out.
They're invested,
Um,
like literally.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, at
literally.
this point, like we've branched off into partnerships with other health apps, just basically because our users at this point just want it. They're like, "Well, give me recommendations now.
Hmm.
Tell me what to use. Tell me what to do."
That's
But that's
great.
kind of a new thing. We haven't worked with employers yet. We haven't worked with healthcare plans,
Oh,
but
okay.
we would love to learn more about this and maybe branch off into this now that our job of getting users to actually use it is more or less, I think, I think we got there.
Yeah.
So I think we can branch out at this point.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I was actually thinking back to we do this often. We reflect back on other interviews that we've had because we see these really great connections. I was thinking about Wellbe Health with Seth Merritt because one of the kind of messages, one of the things we talked about is that people aren't loyal to their employers or their health plans. It was really more about their health plans versus the employer, but I think the same sentiment can apply. But we are loyal to like our doctors, right? Like a doctor, somebody, when
Yeah.
you find a good one, you're going to carry through with that, right? Your insurance may change, particularly, if you change jobs, you lose your job. People don't stay at companies anymore for 20 years. Some people do, it's very rare. And
Hmm.
so your insurance coverage can change. And so if you want something like Welltory to be like follow you through in your life, well, you might lose it. So I can see where that is, where that doesn't make as much sense because it makes sense for the individual using it to have it for a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, I haven't thought of it that way. That's a really good point.
I have worked all over the healthcare industry. I've thought about everything. Yeah, I like constantly. I'm like, oh, if you're a player, but then if you're on Medicaid, and what if you're on Medicare? And then what if you have insurance through the ACA?
Wait,
All
we
the
need to
things.
talk more about this outside the podcast. I'm super
Yeah.
curious
Oh,
to get your
absolutely. I love
perspective.
it. I'm not a nerd like Jeremy is a nerd, but I am a healthcare nerd. I
Definitely
love
healthcare nerd.
Yeah, I am. I love talking about that kind of stuff and kind of seeing like all of it's kind of this like giant spider web, right? And
I'm
Yeah.
the great at trivia night
yeah,
nerd,
yeah, and remembering
full of
episode
useless
numbers.
information.
It's great. No, he's so smart. That's why he's on the show. But yeah, I mean, like you can see all the possibilities and what makes sense. So, and because if you are going to use an app like this, you want to be invested in it because it's like that long-term data and seeing kind of where, things shift
Yeah.
because our lives don't happen in, days or weeks. It's months and years
Yeah.
or seasons, as I like to call them.
It really is
Yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
seasons.
Yeah, it
You
can
go
be.
through phases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Uh,
so. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I just thought about the seasonal thing. That's not a joke.
Mhm.
People's data changes a lot depending on the season. Because I've recently discovered that aside from calibrating to their baseline, we have to like eventually start looking at how it changes by season, because the temperature changes apparently makes people heart rate data go all sorts of wild.
Huh.
So that's
Weather affects mood in big ways. I grew up in the Northeast and I have been in the Southwest now for 20 years,
Yeah.
environmentally opposites, and it changes people's behavior. People behave differently
really,
because of the weather.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like the seasonal depression.
I
Like,
had the seasonal affective
yeah.
disorder. By February in New England, I couldn't get out of bed anymore. I was
Uh,
like, I'll see you in May.
yeah, you need one of
I'm
those
not going out
lamp,
anymore.
the lamps that you sit under
Yeah.
for like vitamin
And now,
C.
even if I stay in Flagstaff all winter, where it's what we're like currently the seventh snowiest city in
But
America,
we're also very sunny.
but the sun
yeah, it's
shines
not
a
the
lot.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like in between the storms, the sun is out
it is.
and it feels warm on your skin.
It
And I
makes,
don't get sad in the winter anymore.
yeah, it's a good place
No,
to
I'm
be.
so
It's a
jealous.
real thing. Like that is a real thing. I can tell you that personally.
So there you go.
You know,
Seasonal
I,
data.
I
I will
could tell you
never
that.
move back to gray skies ever again. 300 plus days of sun. That's what I need.
I wish. Berlin is just very, very gray.
Yeah, I kind of figured
Almost at
that.
all times, yeah.
You might need one of those sun lamps.
Yeah.
So, as I want to start wrapping things up here, just watching the time, but we asked, I asked you about kind of milestones. You've obviously shared some of the big juicy stuff, as you called it. So you've got some, big changes, restructuring your entire product. Is there anything else coming down the pipeline? I mean, that's kind of a big thing. So you're hopefully kind of taking a breath after that. But
Um, no, we're not.
yeah, that's good. No, that's okay. Hey, you never know, with these, it's the world just changes so quickly, right?
Keep
So,
going, man.
I Yeah, it's there is no break. In fact, I only realized when I was talking to you that there's been some sort of milestone achieved, because like where we are now versus my founders and mine vision for where we want to be every day, I'm like, no, why are we not there yet? Why is it taking so long?
uh,
But basically, the idea is that if you have all of this data about people and you make it engaging enough
mhm,
for people to give you feedback in real time, you can basically give people a super, super personalized and delightful visual experience that's almost like their own body talking to them
mhm.
in beautiful metaphors. And I think that that's really where we're going and what we want to give the people who are using Welltory.
It,
Just, yeah, sorry, I
it's
interrupted.
almost sounds like what they do with the video games where you're rewarding people with a little dopamine hit for doing something.
Exactly,
But in this
exactly,
case, it's actually like being healthier and you get a little dopamine for being healthier.
exactly.
What a wild concept.
I love that. That's great. I love that. This is a really great place to end, I think,
I'm
because
looking forward to, you need to download this, Heather, because I want to see this. I want to
well,
actually see this
I'll
happen.
do it as soon as we hang up.
There you go.
And then I'll promptly leave you a very positive review, I'm sure, after I get a little bit of activity with it. But well, very excited for you. Well, we'll have to bring you back in a year and talk about
Totally.
what has changed and where things are at, and then hopefully I can provide maybe not even a whole year, right? Maybe 6 months from
6 months.
now. And I can talk about my personal use with the app and give my own member testimonial.
We'll come back
Wonderful.
in the spring and see how it helped you through the winter.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Well, I'll be nursing my husband from his
You're going to have some stress coming up.
I'm gonna be really stressed.
It's going to be a good time for you to have this out.
I may be ready to run away.
Your next couple
Anyway,
weeks is going to be rough.
yeah. So, if somebody wants to download your app or find you online or find you on social, what's the best way to do that?
You can download our app in the App Store or on Google Play.
Okay.
And there we have a very active Instagram. The people who run it are my personal heroes. We
Awesome.
have a fairly active LinkedIn.
Cool.
And yeah, I think those are kind of the best channels to follow what Welltree is up to. We
Awesome.
have a massive stack of features that we're about to release before the end of the year.
Oh, well,
Um,
that's a big milestone. Very cool. You got a
there's
lot
just
coming.
Yeah,
massive
you guys are busy.
revamping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, excellent. Well, thank you for coming on. We'll make sure to put all of that in the show notes so people can find you. And my offer stands. We should definitely bring you back. I would love to do that, especially after you release all those features. So maybe sometime in the spring, and we'll reconnect and have another great conversation. But super excited for you and all of your awesome, amazing success, and we'll just continue to watch you keep growing, and I'll get involved. I'm gonna become a user.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on.
Thanks for joining us on the Healthcare Uprising. Make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons before you go, and take a moment to think of a friend and hit that share button. You can find us on all the major audio platforms, and we've got video on YouTube and Patreon, patreon.com/healthcareuprising, if you want to watch us in action.
You can also find us on social media on LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Instagram, and Facebook. Just search Healthcare Uprising to find us. And if you're a new company or a creator with a cool new product for the healthcare space, or if you're someone with a personal healthcare journey and you'd like to share it with us here at the Uprising, please email us at healthcareuprising@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you about coming on the show. That's all for this dose of Healthcare Uprising. Till the next time, keep looking for the good in the world, because sometimes it's where you least expect it.
This has been a Shut Up production.